morning and welcome to my craft room. It's Mel from Inspired Crafts, and as promised this morning I am going to be showing you how to make a box that is that's perfect for a chocolate orange, Terry's chocolate orange, maybe other gifts as well. The size of it is actually really pretty big when you look at it, so just bear with me. I'm just checking that I'm live in the right place. And okay, so fellow demonstrator Sandra Roberts, I think her surname is, made this for, we had a Reading day in Reading. UK demonstrators went and crafted together, and spent some time catching up and having a really nice day. And she was one of the presenters, and it was one of the makes that we got to do while we were there. And this is the box. So I've not glued it together because I wanted to be able to store it flat, and but when you do put it together, well, you'll see when I make one anyway, but when you put it together, it does actually fit a Terry's chocolate orange. Okay, so this one is in centimetres. See the mistake, I did stick that on the wrong place, it should have gone on there. Okay, but this is in centimetres, and I've converted it into inches, but I can give the measurements for both. I tend to work in inches, and it does make it slightly bigger, but it still works perfectly fine. Okay, so this is one that I've created quickly, just to work out the measurements really. And as you'll see, when you put that in, you've got a little bit more room around the edges, but it's perfectly fine. That closes over, and then you can see I haven't stuck anything on, but you can stick stuff on. I've left it with tear and tape on the bottom so that it can be stored flat. So you can store it flat like that, or you can store it flat without sticking the sides together. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, so I've got I've decided I'm going to use this paper from the Reindeer Days Designer Series paper. I thought it was nice and bright and jolly, and I'm using real red for the actual box. So I've got 2 sheets of real red and a sheet of white. You only need a small piece of the second sheet of red, so that's it is mainly out of 1A4. It's just the lid that is out of the second sheet. So I'm going to just pop my measurements. I don't know if you can see the measurements there. Just about. You can't see the lid on that, but we'll come to that in a bit. So working in inches, so my blog will have the centimetre sizes on as well, but working in inches with the short side of the A4 piece at the top, we're going to first of all move our cutting blade out of the way and score at 3 inches, and then at 6 inches, And then we're going to cut at 6.5 inches, which is just past that. Okay, so this bit we don't need. We're going to turn it round and we're going to score on the long side at 4 inches. Then we're going to cut at 5 3/4. Pop that one out the way. Again, on this bit, you need to score at 4 and cut at 5 3/4. And you have a tiny little bit that you don't need. Okay, so while we're cutting, we will do the lid, and that is a 3-inch strip by 4 inches. And then each end is just scored at 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to move this out the way, just bend that back round. Now, if you want, I've not decided whether I'm going to layer these up with white as well yet, but I think I will for this one, and we'll see what it's like. So for the first layer, you want them 2 3/4 inch wide, by 3 3/4 inch long, and you want 4 of those. So that's 3. That's 4, and then for the lid you're going to want one that's 2 3/4 inch square. Okay, and then where we've got the pattern paper, you need to be careful that you're doing it in the right direction, but these will need to be 3 3/4 inch, sorry, 3.5 inches long. So let's mind that. So downwards is 3.5, and then 2.5 wide. So that's the 4 pieces around the sides, and then unfortunately that's not going to be big enough for what I want. So I need to just grab another piece of pattern paper. What's it got on the other side? Just bear with me. Okay, so this one then needs to be 2, that's the other side to it, so it's fine. 2 3/4 inch square. Okay, so that's all the bits that we need for the main box. We can come back and have a look at what we want for decoration afterwards. We can pop those bits out the way. I'm just going to round off the corners on one edge. Okay. And then we'll just burnish all these score lines. Okay, so that's one part. If you're watching today and just drop a comment or something so that I can see who's about. For some reason I can see that there's some people about, but it's not showing up very clearly on Facebook. Okay, so the next thing to do, this little tab here we're going to cut off, so I'm going to cut a small wedge there and then just cut along, so you can see there's like a little angled bit on that side, and then we need to cut up to the score line here, and then do the same with this piece. So your little cheese wedge, and then the score line. Okay, so we've got two identical pieces. If we turn them over this way, I'm going to move that out the way. And then we're going to put tear and tape on these two flaps here. Fine. Okay, so we want that there. We also want a piece on this flap that's not been rounded off. I'll put the other bits on in a moment. So peel off the back, and you're going to line up this edge with the score line. I'm going to try and do this with from a distance, because otherwise I'll get my head in the camera and all you'll see is my head. Okay, so you've got one join there, and then we can peel this bit off and fold that one down. And I wasn't going to do that straight away. I was going to stick this on first, but it's fine. And it's also easier sticking on those bits, but it's fine. We'll just decide where we're going to put that. And line it up. So it's quite easy just to stick it on. So this bit's going to be the front, and you will put some tear and tape on these two side ones. Just tear some of that off. I would put a couple of strips on, just so that you've got plenty of stickiness. And if you're doing, I don't know, if you put something a bit heavier in than Terry's chocolate orange, then you might want to just put a bit more glue on there. But that will be fine for the Terry's chocolate orange. Okay, so when we come to decorating it, let's find my bits. That's the lid. We'll just use a bit of Tombow. I've obviously cut that at the same size. I didn't think what I was doing, obviously. Right, so yeah, I need to just cut this bit again. So it should be 2.5 by 2.5, that one. Just pop a little bit of glue around the edge. Layer that one. Try and get them evenly, sort of the gap even, but two. Three. And 4. Okay, so then these can just be layered onto here. Again, if depending on what pattern you use, just be careful about where you're, how you're sticking them. Some patterns will obviously, if it's a scene or something, you'll obviously want to put them in the right order so that the paper flows. I have done that with this one, but it's not too bad because you can see it goes there, and this is half a bauble on each side. Okay, so that's going to be that bit, and then again make sure that this bit goes on in the right direction. Okay, I'm not going to glue that down, but that's the box as it is. So that fits in nicely. Okay, so this panel here is the panel that I want to then add a bit of extra decoration to, whether it's a sentiment label or whether you want to put, I don't know, for this one we could put a reindeer. I don't know whether, I've not looked at these, but these are stickers that come to do with the scrapbooking stuff. So I mean, they're quite nice. You'd be able to fit one of those on there quite easily. The paper, again, there's plenty on here you can fussy cut. Let me find a piece that this is a piece that I've already been doing. So, you know, there's quite a few different bits. You could even get a circle punch and punch round them. Some of them are work with the dies as well, but I think I'm going to just trim this one out. Put that out the way, and then just like fussy cut it. I'm only leaving a very small border around because it's a different colour background. I actually think the dies would be lovely for where is it? One of these sort of stuck on the front. So I might get round to doing that rather than sticking this on, but it will give you an idea. So just trim it round. I'm not the biggest fussy cutter fan, but yeah, sometimes they're not too bad an image to do. Nearly done, better not chop his ear off. There, so he could go on there with a greeting. As I say, I think I'm gonna make one of these and put it on there though instead. So, but you get the idea. That's how to make the box. You could do it in any colour, yeah. And I don't know what else would fit in it. I haven't got anything else here that I could even show you that might fit in it, but bags of sweets, I suppose. Maybe some doesn't have to be anything that's square even, does it? Or rectangular, you know. It's a good size box for putting anything in, really. Some little, I don't know, a jam jar maybe, say some other sweets or chocolates, jewellery. And if you do craft markets, craft fairs, then it's fine to leave flat and only make them up when you actually want. So that's a great saving for space. Okay, so that's the different ones, and that's the centimetre one. As you can see, there's not, I mean, it's like I don't even think it's an 1/8 of an inch difference. It's like a 1/16 of an inch maybe. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy making that box and find something other than chocolate oranges maybe to put in it. Okay, take care for now. Bye.